Hi everybody, Teen Out the No Barfield here. Welcome to Writer's Corner. No, the background's different. Well, that's probably because I'm in Tennessee and you're the only Tennessee. Anyway, yeah, at the time of me uploading this, I will probably be past Tennessee. So enough about me, what I've been up to. What about that video? So I'm going to talk about being a teen writer online. Because in my opinion, being a teen writer online is a much different experience than being a teen writer offline and being physically around other people. So from my own time online, and I know that makes me sound ancient, but whatever, but from my own time online, there are a few experiences that you can have being a teen writer, browsing the interwebs, and interacting with others. That last part is very important. When you're interacting with others, one of those experiences can go a little something like this. What about like for a real job, like whenever this thing doesn't work out, because ever since I started working at the gas station, I've developed like a really great work ethic, and I just kind of want to know what you plan to do. I mean, like I still write in my free time, obviously, but I just kind of need to know what you're gonna be doing. I can't really do that if I don't know what it's gonna be like whenever you're gonna be something besides team, or you might also have to deal with something like this. I just don't really know what to do. My story isn't that great, and my characters just kind of have a mind of their own, And I really just need someone to like be there for me. Please just take a look at it if you can. But like, it's no big deal. And I'm sorry if I've been too mean. Or it's basically this shirt. I'll let you take this in for a moment. Go on. Take it in. So besides purely interacting with others, being a teen writer online means doing a lot of research for yourself, helping others research, finding weird articles you didn't even know existed but now you can't live without, sharing some of said articles with others but then keeping the real good ones for yourself until you feel bad about it. It's also looking at a lot of books online because you need inspiration. Being a teen writer online is also part of reviewing other people's work and finding a great median between being helpful and honest and also not savagely destroying their piece with your critical eye. It's reading a lot of different things online, a lot of different posts about writing and a whole bunch of different stuff. It means following a ton of people online. It means watching some great YouTube writing videos done by an energetic and dashingly youthful host. And it also means finding the courage and being comfortable with sharing your own writing online, looking for those own reviews, those own critiques and feedback that you can get for your piece, and feeling comfortable enough to expose yourself and be vulnerable. I mean expose yourself and writing, like don't take this out of context, we're not that close. So I've reached the part in the video where I need to let you know what the rest is going to be about to keep your interest. So it is just going to be one thing, guys, okay? It's basically a behavioral guide to being a teen writer online so we don't savagely tear each other apart. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but I struggle with something every day as a writer. It's mostly whenever I interact with other people, and it's this thing called honesty. A good general rule, not just with being honest with people or giving feedback, is just in general interacting with others, is if someone asks you, hey, can you take a look at my piece, or hey, can you review my story, or take a look at the synopsis, or whatever the case may be, if someone comments on Facebook or emails you, whatever the case may be. If you're having a bad day, just kind of avoid it. Just don't give judgment on their story. It's honestly just probably a good idea to avoid people. But beyond that, whenever you're interacting with others, it's still important to be open, honest, and truthful. However, whenever you are talking with people and they seem more kind of like a special snowflake kind of person, or you are feeling especially blunt that day, it can be helpful to turn things from a statement of fact into a statement of opinion. So rather than saying your characters are two-dimensional, you can say, I found your characters two-dimensional. It shifts the blame and responsibility onto you, and this kind of has to make you a bigger person. You have to be a bigger person to be able to do this. I use statements of opinion a lot, And so people can kind of discount it and just be like, ah, that's just one guy's opinion if they're feeling like they can't deal with criticism that day. But if they're feeling like they actually want something helpful, then they can actually listen to me. And so it kind of puts the responsibility onto them. And if you're struggling with being open, blunt, or honest with others, if you're struggling with like really telling them what they need to hear, then kind of just reverse everything I just said. And also like try and be really specific about it so that way they can pick and choose what parts they really want to believe so that we don't come across as too strong. And also you can kind of do what I do, and this is really helpful if you can just develop a mentality like I have developed where I just don't give a f what people think. Now, despite how grumpy I may seem and how critical I may seem to be being, it is still very important to be polite and respectful in my opinion. It's just incredibly important, and you can do this in a few ways. Now for me, this means a few things. One, this means generally not swearing unless the other person does so first. That can be kind of a take it or leave it rule, but this is just kind of something I hold on to. I don't swear around my parents or most family members. I don't swear in public or around kids, and I don't swear unless the other person does so first. So whenever I reply to a message or I got to comment on something, I'm not like, here's my very explicit opinion about it. For me, this also means respecting other people's beliefs. You know, if you're editing the work of a hardcore Christian and you are not religious, you don't need to go in and be like, well, you gotta remove all that religious stuff because it may alienate an audience. No, you know, I was a homeschooled teen writer, and that means a lot of people I interacted with, despite not being religious myself, were Christians or other religious people. And you just have to learn to be respectful of their beliefs. Now, if they ask you for your unfiltered opinion, then they literally asked for it. And this also means putting my best foot forward. I act as if a spotlight were on me all the time, which may be kind of narcissistic, but that's how I am. Whenever I am interacting with people online, whether it's a private message, whether it's a public forum, whatever the case may be, I put my best foot forward and I act polite and friendly. And just have a little bit of class, okay? That's all you need to do. You just need to put your best foot forward, be kind, and have some manners. In terms of being super aggressive or trolling or inciting flame wars or anything, don't do it. If you're going to be online, you're going to have to develop a thick skin, which means you need to be able to take criticism, and it means that we don't want to throw you a pity party. We don't want to tell you how amazing your writing is just because we're worried that you're going to break down and cry and not be a writer if we don't tell you. Honestly, your story probably needs a bit of improving. Like, I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's fantastic. I mean, I've read a lot of great stories out there written by writers young and old, but I've also read several that need work. My writing constantly needs work. I can like nitpick my stuff to the T, and then I'll come back in the morning and it can still be improved upon. Imagine that. People can constantly be improving. I know, weird, right? And if you are someone who maybe you've had a long day, maybe you've had a bad day, maybe you weren't in a great place whenever you're writing or something, and you are maybe subconsciously even trying to throw yourself a pity party, or you have trouble taking criticism, there are some things you can do. For one, you can realize that they're not trying to attack you most of the time. It's helpful to analyze the criticism. Try and keep this as unemotional as you possibly can. Analyze the criticism and say, are they attacking you? Are there any personal things, like you're a sloppy writer, or did they say that the writing was sloppy in this section? Did they tell you that you create two-dimensional characters, or did they say that these characters are two-dimensional in this part of the story? And it may be helpful to kind of critique your own things, not like, oh, I'm the worst. No, don't do it personal. Do what other people will do. Critique the writing, not the individual. Let's see here. Honesty, politeness, don't be a jerk, how to deal with criticism. Are there any other like rules or general guidelines that you can think of for dealing with people online? Well, I can't really think of many, so thank you for watching. I hope you go on to do great things online, and that you continue to enjoy. So there seems to be a fly in my room, so if I say, hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. Stalk me online at Facebook, Twitter, Goodreads, and YouTube obviously. Please subscribe and comment below. Now if you're wanting the whole Legendland package, check out Legendland Tale of the Nameless God on Wattpad, updated every Friday. Watch some of my other videos. You might see something you enjoy, and I hope to see you next week.